You started testosterone almost 2 years ago, or
Real over to
a
you.
little over 2 years ago. So when you started it, like, was there something you were seeking? It's been a while since I've talked to you, so I don't really remember exactly why you came in or what you were looking for, but it's usually somewhere along the lines of I want to be in better shape and ran you whatever, right? So what was your reasoning?
Yeah, well, it's almost hard for me to remember what I felt like because I feel so different now and it's so consistent. It takes work to think back.
Yeah.
What did I feel like? But what I remember is I was definitely tired a lot. I just felt like my days were dragging, my mood was flat, and I was working pretty hard at the gym, but not really seeing a ton of results. It felt to me like I wasn't seeing the results that were corresponding to the amount of work I was putting in at the gym. So I just altogether felt a little like I wasn't quite reaching my full potential when I walked in the door. That's why I came.
Uh, Pretty common story, right? So you were 41. Is that okay? That's
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I was young.
well, 40 is like where it starts. So how long were you feeling that way then?
A few years. I've been on a change journey of my own, both with mental health and physical health. And physical health was a big part of the mental health change as well. So it's been about 3 years where I've been really taking good care of myself. That's a lifetime of taking really bad care of myself. And so like 3 years of taking good care of myself. And yeah, and then at some point though, I plateaued. Like I felt like I did everything I could do on my own.
Okay. So then you were looking for something to help it along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the common story, and this is why we do this, because Ullman hit that at some point, and I think there's an ego thing that a lot of us saying, like, well, I don't need anything. I'm just going to work harder and I'll be fine, and then we find, like, nope, it's not working. Like, I thought it would, and then I definitely felt the same thing myself.
Well, you don't know what you almost don't know what you've lost, and don't know what the potential is. So it's hard to ask for help when you don't really know what even help looks like, kind of.
Yeah, and you don't know what you can be, right? You're
Totally.
like, you buy into the story, you're just old,
Absolutely.
deal with it.
Yeah. Part of being old, part of being middle-aged, just being tired and slow and achy. And you hear that all the time, right? Yeah.
And then you buy that story, you're just like, okay, I'll set this like out. But the problem is, like, we live so much longer now, and like, if you live to 80, you're at the midpoint, and you're gonna start to feel like crap.
Yeah, half your life. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, here we're like, okay, our whole shtick was like, first we started just about like physical therapy stuff, like, and then it was helping people get fitter, and then they're like wanting more, and then as we got older, like ourselves, like as I got older, like, well, what now? Like, not, it was getting fit like naturally to the point where you could just exercise wasn't enough anymore. And like you said, I was doing the exercise and like, look, this isn't working like it used to work. Like I'm not gaining muscle, not losing weight like I used to, and that was the point where we like, okay, we need to add other stuff.
Yeah.
But like you, I know you said I didn't wear a shirt that shows off my muscles, but you have gained. Since the last scan, you've gained 13 pounds of muscle. And that was over like a year and a half or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know where you are right now, but that was the last time you scanned. So are you trying to build more muscle continuously? Or?
Yeah, I am. You know what? One thing that's been interesting, I've been on testosterone for a little over 2 years now, and like I find that I have a lot more control over my body type now than I did before, and so it gives me the freedom and to experiment a little bit and try to find what kind of composition feels best for me. And again, I'm not like an athlete. I've never been I've never even been fit in my life until now. So this is a completely new thing for me. But it's I'm trying to figure out the balance of muscle to feeling slim, and like what are the trade-offs of both. So yeah, I'm constantly I'm still like going up and down quite a bit because I'm trying to figure out like what feels best for me.
What's like your sweet spot?
What's my sweet spot? And yeah, I'm in throughout this also trying to build muscle. Like I still enjoy that. I still like feeling stronger, but like sometimes you feel really bulky. I do. Like sometimes I'm at a point where I'm like building muscle, but I just feel bulky and slow.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, so I slim down, I start intermittent fasting, but still trying to build muscle. So yeah, it's just always kind of fine tuning now, which is kind of fun.
That is good, but the control is that really you said like
Exactly.
I actually have control
have
over it.
control over it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not like you just feel like you're trapped in it.
It feels so intentional.
Yeah.
I feel like with this whole thing, I've really been able to take control, take the driver's seat in my physical health, which is completely new.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone has put it better than that. Like I can actually control my health.
totally.
You know,
Totally.
like
It's not just something that happens to you.
yeah.
And it, like, yeah, you becoming middle-aged, this
Yeah.
doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
You can feel as how you want to feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're a 12. Last scan, you're a 12.7. I see that you do play with your body a little bit.
Totally.
But like last scan with 12.7, you're like top tier as far as like low body fat percentage. Like that's like.
I know, it's wild.
I mean, I know you have a sweater on, but you're ripped underneath there, right?
I guess so.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
No,
you look in the mirror without a shirt on, like
I'm pretty proud of what I see, especially from where I came from. Like I again, chronically kind of overweight. Like I've never been like obese, but just not that sporty, and I never considered myself fit ever in my whole life. And like looking in the mirror and seeing a fit person and seeing muscle definition and seeing like my veins poke out in weird places, it's like, wow, this is a completely new me. It's wild.
that's awesome though.
Yeah.
But I gotta say though, I mean, I've stayed pretty fit all my life, and I'm probably the fittest I've ever been at 45.
Yeah, it's about you. Yeah. Well, me too. It's amazing, right?
I know.
Congratulations.
So like, why did it take us so long to be fit until we're in our middle ages?
Seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so awesome. As far as like the physical benefits we talked about, can we talk about any other benefits you've noticed? Like different guys say different things, from mental, emotional, sleep, like a lot of different things. Like, are there any other things that you noticed from testosterone?
Yeah, I mean, all of it, frankly. A couple of things stick out. One of them is, I remember like, for me, and probably it's normal, it takes a little ramp up time for everything to start working and to start your levels to raise. And I remember at one point, like 3 months in, where I went rollerblading along the lakefront, and I just felt like I had rockets in my legs. Like literally, like I could just go forever, and it was so liberating. I don't know, I had some music on or something, and I was just rollerblading as fast as I possibly could along the lake, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like a new human. So it was both physical, but there was like a mental side to feeling that great, and the energy. And so I come back to the energy. It's not just you don't get automatically fit. I don't bake with taking testosterone, but what it does is it gives me the energy to get to the gym every day. It almost feels like I have to get to the gym, like I've got energy in me and I have to get it out. So it's like it's motivation in and of itself, and that leads to being fit, is how I find it. So like the energy is amazing. I do a lot of what I do at the gym is martial arts, and so it's really hard on the body, and I find that recovery is a lot easier with testosterone. The soreness, the tweaked joints or whatever happen, I feel that those recovery days are much shorter and fewer far between. And then there is the mental health element too, that I don't know how you measure it or anything, but my disposition feels different too. The way I feel talking to other people, I feel more social. Again, I'm an introvert, but I feel more social. I feel more outgoing. I feel more confident and just positive. I feel way more positive, which is weird. I feel like I'm kind of a pessimist and an introvert, and it's been a little bit of a adjustment to be like this outgoing person who chats up people at bars or whatever. So those are two big ones. There's more. I can keep going if you'd like.
No, that's awesome. Testosterone will make you fit automatically, but even if for people like we have clients that definitely don't exercise and take it, they still will get fitter.
Do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
the metabolism changes or fat, reduce fat.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did martial arts. Maybe I did know that. I forgot. What, jiu-jitsu or
I
something?
do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and this year I took up more just broadly MMA. Stopped doing a lot of striking, kickboxing, Muay Thai.
Crazy strength though. No, yeah, let her rip up.
Yeah. Well, I'm like one of the old guys in the gym, and I'm fighting like 25-year-olds a lot, so dude's almost half my age. It's been a new thing where you end up sort of picking your sparring partner, and I get paired with a fit 25-year-old, and they go, oh man. Like, oh yeah.
And Heath,
No, it's definitely been noticed in the gym that my body composition's changed and I'm a much tougher sparring partner than I used to be, for sure.
Can't pick on the old guys.
That's right. They don't feel bad for me and the old guy, that's for sure.
Have you experienced any downsides?
Not really. There's two things. One is, I had a moment where I ran out of it. I had to run out of the testosterone, and it took like 2 weeks to refill it for whatever reason. And I did I panicked a little bit, and then I could feel my body like slowing down, and yeah, exactly. And so that was, you're dependent on it, and it's part of your lifestyle now. And so that's, if you go on vacation, you got to make sure you've packed enough to last the trip. So that kind of thing. So that's one. The other downside that I worry about, and I don't know how much is cause and effect, but like hair loss, and my understanding is it varies by person and varies in timing and everything, so there's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm also middle-aged, so I'm watching my hairline very, very closely, and my hair thickens very closely, and I don't know if, there's a little less than before, maybe, this lighting, and so, it's something I think about a lot and I worry about a lot, and I try to take steps to counteract that, but it's definitely on my mind.
Yeah, I have the same, but sometimes but then again, like you said, you're at the age where that happens, so it's kind of like, well, which one is it?
Totally.
But there are times, you can talk to us if there's concern, because there's stuff we can give you there.
Yes, I might need to do it.
Block that, but you don't have to unless you think exactly. Yeah, but that's hard to.
It's hard to tell because it's slow. It's slow.
So
yeah, then you look at old pictures, and then I try to. I'm examining old pictures, going, well, I don't know, it looks pretty bad there too.
Yeah, exactly. I was the same way. I'm like, well, that's pretty bad there too.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much the same. Well, it's really bad today.
Yeah, what I started, I go. I took some pictures, and I'm like,
yeah.
And then I'll just take pictures every now and then and see if there's a difference. Yeah,
exactly.
That there is, then we could.
Well, then I'll complain to a friend or something who's actually bald.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine. Look at myself in the mirror, yes, this is a full head of hair. Right? That's worrying about.
I was at my bar work, and I'm like, do you think you're my hair thing at all? And he's like, dude, if I make it to your age and I have the hair that you have, exactly. I'd be very happy.
Exactly.
But I would say most declines that we have not had a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the studies prove true. I mean, the studies will show a small percentage of rain will have issue with it, and then all else, there's no change from baseline. We compare it to someone who's not taking it, meaning it's just if you're if you're not gonna not going to. Yeah, that's the other thing. But can we get intimate? Are you open to talk about any sexual function or changes or advantages that you've noticed in that department?
Thought you'd never ask. It's been great. It's been amazing. For me personally, it's starting testosterone also coincided with getting divorced and being single for the first time in my life.
I'm a ripped guy.
And now I'm in shape, and I've got outgoing, I've got energy to talk to people, and I'm more outgoing, and my libido, I would say at the start, the first few months where it was so high, it was almost a problem. Like 14-year-old getting a boner in class, even though the teacher's ugly and old, and you're still like, oh my God, that was happening to me. This is out of control and not sustainable. Luckily, it backs off. It ends up higher, for me anyway, it ended up much higher than pre-testosterone at a baseline, but a manageable level. So it's been great, and the women I've dated have been grateful.
Grateful.
Yeah, they've been very grateful, and I've been grateful. So that's been an extremely positive experience.
I feel like a strength of orgasms has
just back to the beginnings.
That's wild. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
I need to take a minute. Fan me.
Yeah. That's it. Well, it sounds like you're a new guy.
I feel that way. Yeah, I really do.
Awesome.
It's been life-changing for sure.
You've got a lot of life ahead of you, man. And that's the point,
Yeah.
You got a lot of life ahead of you.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, which I haven't mentioned, is I've got 2 kids. I have an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. I suppose they were 9 or whatever they were when they were littler, but they require energy to keep up with, and that continued. And being able to do that has been very meaningful too, right? I can still beat the 13-year-old in a foot race, you know, or you know, and I love that. I love being able to. I love being, you know, fit dad who does activities, who they see do activities, and hopefully they learn from and get inspired by.
Yeah, my partner, she got me this like kind of obnoxious shirt. This like it's got like cut off sleeves on it, and it says dad bod on it, and like that's like kind of, you know, like my anthem. Like dad bod does not have to be like what we think are stereotypical dad bod, like just like sloppy and like beer gut and like gross, you know. Dad bod can be Heath. It can be a Heath at 12% body fat, ripped and like strong, muscular,
It should be.
studly, you know, feeling good,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, thanks so much for talking to me, because like I just want, honestly, I want more people to be educated about it and be like, you don't, to kind of like your realization, like I don't have to be like submit myself to the, yeah, what we think aging should be, or well, what work on the news as we get older. We don't have to, you know. You feel great, have a good life, quality of life can then be maintained.
It's such an improvement in quality of life, and I end up telling all of my friends. You know, at first I was a little, I don't know, maybe bashful to talk about it openly. You know, like it almost feels like cheating or something. Like, did I cheat? You know, I'm in the gym literally every day, but I'm feeling like I'm cheating. You know, so it's like I'm not cheating. But and so once I got over that, I became an evangelist. I tell like, you know, women I work with, if they start talking about their husbands are tired or whatever, I say, you know, have you looked into testosterone? Look into it, think about it, because, you know, it changed my life so dramatically, and, you know, people need to hear good stories.
Yeah.
There is a lot of misinformation.
So much.
I read about it too, right? There's a lot, not even intentional misinformation, but just people just don't know.
We don't know.
They don't have experiences with it. So like, you know, adding a voice or pay, I've got experience, and this is my experience. It's been, you know, by and large, completely positive.
Yes.
Is important, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not the best players out there sometimes, you know. And even then, if someone's giving testosterone to someone with minimal management, they'll still they'll still benefit from it. But you know, like then you do the client a disservice. You know, like if you're not maximizing how they can feel and they optimizing their levels around.
Yeah, I'm Scott.
And then, you know, like educating them about possible downside and how to avoid those things. You know, that there's like in anything, you know, there's good players and average players and, you know, and bad players, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, if we do it right, there's really minimum no downsides and it's all upside, which is just like a dream, you know. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the candor.
My pleasure.
I'm glad to hear your story. I mean, it keeps me inspired, like to be the evangelist, like you said, you know, so it's awesome.